All right, what is up? So yesterday we talked about load balancers and we looked at proxies. Now this morning I'm going to dig into unified threat management appliances. We're going to look at web security gateways, and I was going to go into VPN, but VPN is really complex, and I want to keep this video relatively short. If you're anything like me, watching a video over 5 minutes is a chore, right? So let's just get right into it. A UTM, also known as a unified threat management appliance, is just that. It's an appliance, right? Think about your fridge or your toaster. You plug it in and it works. That's the same thing with UTM. You pretty much set it up in a data center, you put it in a rack somewhere, power it on, and it unifies a whole swath of security controls into one box. So the purpose, of course, is to ease the administration of the network, to reduce the complexity, of course, but it does all this without sacrificing security. And so, for example, instead of buying a separate firewall, you buy a UTM, which contains a firewall. Instead of buying a separate URL filtering device, the UTM has that built in. Instead of buying a separate content filtering appliance, which would look for maybe zip attachments that are coming into the network, or it would scan emails for sensitive content. For example, it might look for personally identifiable information or card holder data, or social security numbers that are leaving the network, and it will block it. Instead of buying a separate content filtering device or a separate malware inspection engine, which, for example, would analyze incoming emails, it would look at attachments, word attachments, analyze the attachments to make sure there's no malicious macros inside. It would analyze web pages to make sure there's no malicious JavaScript code there. Instead of having to buy a separate device for that, you can have this UTM that combines everything in one place. It's one box to rule them all, right? So that is the huge advantage there. Of course, it has to be kind of beefy because it has a lot of work to do, and that's why they can be a bit more expensive. But overall, it's the way that things are going. There are some old companies that are still using web security appliances, WSA, also known as web security gateways. They're not as popular. They pretty much do the same thing as a UTM. It's just a twist on terms. So don't let that confuse you if you see a web security gateway or a UTM on the test. Web security gateway does content filtering. It does data loss prevention. It does all these other things, and it's all in one box, just like the UTM. All right, so that's all we're going to talk about today. Tomorrow, 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, we're going to dive right into VPNs. Make sure you take notes because I've got a ton, literally a lot of material to cover. Again, I'm going to try to keep it short, but just make sure you come prepared for that. And in the meantime, leave a comment. Just commit to sharing this new knowledge to somebody. If you really want to get this stuff, the best thing to do is to try to explain it to somebody else. So call up your grandma, send a text to your girlfriend, ring your wife and just say, hey, baby, check this out. This is what a UTM is. Yeah, she's going to look at you like you're crazy, but I'm telling you, it's going to go a long way and it's going to help you learn this stuff. So thumb this video up if you liked it. Make sure you subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow morning.